This is Aquamarine, and this is Aquamarine's chemical formula. And I am acutely aware that not everyone knows how to read chemical formulas, so I'm going to spend a great deal of today breaking down chemical formulas so that they all of a sudden become legible and less like hieroglyphs. Now, with this chemical formula, we have essentially what the mineral is comprised of, same as we have with all mineral chemical formulas. Now, in the first part of this formula, we have Be with a tiny 3. Now, this essentially means that there are 3 atoms of beryllium, and beryllium is the lightweight metal that helps give the crystal its structure, durability. Now, next to that, we have Al and a tiny 2. Now this means that there are 2 atoms of aluminium or aluminum if you're in the United States, which is another metal that also plays an integral role in the structure of the mineral. Then we move on to the Si with the tiny 6, and this stands for 6 atoms of silicon. Now, silicon is very common in minerals and forms very strong bonds with oxygen to create what's known as a silicate framework. Now, this is the backbone of absolutely loads of rocks and crystals. But finally, at the end of this formula, we have O with little tiny 18. Now, this means that there are 18 atoms of oxygen. So these oxygen atoms bind everything together, so especially with the silicon to form the stable crystal lattice that gives aquamarine its solid form. So even though the formula doesn't list it, tiny traces of iron are often present in the structure, and it's this iron that gives aquamarine its characteristic blue-green color. So the formula is more than just letters and numbers, it's coded description of how the elements come together to form the crystal, both in terms of its structure and its appearance. But it's probably also important to understand that some of the elements that are actually causing the color, in this situation iron, occur in such small quantities that they generally don't appear in the overarching chemical formula of the material, which in this case is beryl.